Hello everyone, welcome back to an Industrialist tutorial, or just in general guide. Today we're going to be actually going over an interesting topic. I quite like this one. How do you get into Industrialist? How do you get good at it? How do you, just in general, have fun playing it? And we're going to be going over a couple things. I'm going to put on screen right now a list of what we're going to be going over. I'll make cuts in the video, and then I'll have a bunch of steps displayed on screen for you as well. Alright, well, without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so, what we're gonna need to do is, first we're gonna go over one of the, arguably more crucial aspects, is to get yourself started out right from the start. Like you gotta get yourself ready right from the start, otherwise you're not gonna have a fun time. So I already have a couple of videos on this, but what you should do is first, obviously, unlock a battery, these two, unlock the coal extracting, and set yourself up a nice little coal plant. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I'm going to take the coal drill. You're going to want to place a couple like that. You may only be able to afford a few. It's perfectly fine. You're also going to want to do this. And you're just going to want to... oops. You're just going to want to set this all up. Then we're going to grab pipe section, put it here. Then we're going to grab this junction, put it here. Everything should be hooked up. Now what you want to do is you want to grab a couple of these. You probably don't have wind turbines unlocked yet. That's perfectly fine. You're not going to have them for a tiny bit. But you'll get them later. You just want to connect all these to a battery. Now these aren't going to produce anything right now, because I don't currently have, well, the sun's not there. While we're waiting, we can connect these. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. So this is going to start producing coal. As you can see, it produces a lot already. And then we're going to need to grab this truck here. We're going to place it right there. Watch, it's going to fill up pretty quickly. Coal produces quite fast. And then it's going to drive off. And you don't want to spend all of this here, because what you are going to want to do is also have some research going. Now this is a research station right here. Place it here. We're going to take this, we're going to connect it just like that. It's going to drain quite a lot of power, but that's why we need the research. Research is going to help us be able to get better alternatives, such as, which I'll show you in a second. I highly suggest you go and research the wind theory and then wind turbine, because these are very useful. And then you can place it down, you can connect it to the battery that's currently not doing quite alright, or you can do it like this. Keep this always powered, and then the battery will fill up on itself. And that is pretty much it for the starter. It's again, I have a guide on this already, and I'm sure that you can find some things on the wiki, which I'll link down below. But you just need to get started out. Okay, moving on. I really suggest, I can't really show you what to do for this, but I really suggest you get to know the wiki and get to know the ratios and different things. And by ratio I mean, for example, if we go over here, if you go to my iron farm, right over here, it's a big iron farm. What you're going to see here is you're going to see each one of these machines have 3 of these, so it goes 3 to 1, then you have 2 of these that go into 1 of these, that go into 2 of these, 2 of these, and 1 of these. So the ratio here would be 6 to 2 to 1 to 2 to 2. Just like that. So it would be displayed as 6 to 2 to 1 to 2 and 2. So 6 means there'll be six drills here. I can delete it. 6 drills here, right here. 3 of these go into 1. These 3 go into this one. These 2 go into this one. And this one goes into these 2. And these 2 go into these 2. And then I kind of just repeat them, put them next to each other, and they look a tiny bit complicated. That's quite alright. And that's just the ratios. I'll put on the screen right now, and I'll also link it down below in the description and probably a pinned comment. But we are gonna have, but it's really important that you get to know the wiki. Also, you just saw we got $167 from that, so it's a pretty good way to get some money at the start. Alright. Next off, we have experiment. Now this is probably one of the biggest mechanics of this game, and one of the most fun things. It's experimenting. So you may not understand what I mean, but if you see right here, this is me experimenting a boiler setup, which is a bit complicated. As you can see, didn't quite work out, but that's perfectly fine because that's why we experiment. I suggest saving up some money before you experiment, because something like this costs over $30,000. But it really allows you, it just kind of helps you get familiar with how things work, and also maybe find cooler ways to do things. Over here you can also see that I have an experiment happening. Now this actually does not work anymore, but back maybe 3 months ago, me and this user in the Mamytema Studios Discord server, which is also the Industrialist Discord server, discovered that by alternating pipes, like so, you can actually limit their flow. And it's quite interesting. It's kind of confusing, but you would actually divide it by 6 each time you put one of these, and you alternate them because of the way the code works. It doesn't. I don't think it works anymore. But for this to get here, for this to get here, we're exponentially different. Accounting even when you subtract the values that the difference that it should be from these pipes being here. It was just a little experiment, you know. Over here is also just a tiny little experimenting with valves in different ways. Eventually, we're able to make logic gates and 8-bit displays, but that's a bit complicated, and I'm rambling off. So we're gonna go to the next one, which is probably one of the more important ones, is think ahead. Now, the reason why I say this is because you could see I have $862,612, which seems like a lot. But let's say I wanted to make maybe an LNG setup. Okay, LNG is a liquid natural gas. You could sell it for money. But I just want you to look at this. An LNG plant costs $500,000. And I don't have one right now. And I have $862,000. And a condenser, which you also need. Condenser, where are you? I'm trying to find a condenser here. Right here. You need $150,000. That leaves me with only $150,000 left. Gas refinery. You need this as well. That's $350,000. We cannot afford that at the moment. So if you don't do your research, and if I were to try and build a gas farm right now, it would not work. Not to mention the fact that a proper one needs quite a few of these, and quite a lot of these as well. And I don't even have enough here. So that's exactly why you need to plan ahead, because I would be left with no money. And I'd probably be better off trying to expand this iron farm, or just AFKing until I do have enough money, rather than wasting my time and building something and then figuring out I don't have enough money, and it just becomes a whole hassle. So always think ahead. Next, this one, I've probably said this a lot, but find something. I've probably said this a lot, but it's really important that you find something about this game you love. If you don't like anything in particular, that's perfectly fine. You can either still play, or you can find another game that is more suited to you. This game isn't for everyone. But something I personally like, as myself, to give an example, is I love, as you could probably tell, geothermal. I don't know why, I've just always been fascinated with geothermal, And around a couple, maybe 5 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, I was pretty much the leader in geothermal research. What I mean by this is that I've designed designs such as this one and many more that would maximize geothermal efficiency for cheap cost. And they also were pretty easy to replicate, so you can see I have multiple down here, and I was able to fill this battery within around a couple minutes, which isn't much if you have a gas burner, but a gas burner creates pollution, is also really expensive to make. This is cheaper and produces quite a lot of energy as well. You might also notice that if you're a bit of a professional or even intermediate, that I just have these things lying around right here. You may also notice that nothing's actually connected. What's the use of all this? That's the thing, these actually don't have a use. It's just another thing that I like. I love, I'll put some images on screen right now, but I love taking pictures and trying to make a really nice city-like environment or pathways or just something really, really cool to look at. If you could see here, we'll look at it from here. I got one with the sunset. This actually isn't too bad of a sunset one either, but I have one with the sunset, and I believe it looks good. That's up for you to decide, though. But it looks, you can already see what I have done here. And, you know, just figure it out, figure stuff out. It's actually you know, I might as well take a photo right now. No harm in doing so. I could definitely take one right now if I get this right. And got it. And as you can see, that photo on screen, you may not like it, but I do. And that's what's good. You could do whatever you want, as long as it's not, I mean, you just do whatever you want. No one really, as long as you don't go cheating or anything, or abuse glitches, you could pretty much just have fun and do what you want. There's no laws or anything here. It's pretty much just your own little world that you can expand and industrialize. And it's kind of hard. Our next point, this is it's on screen right now. This is number 6. It's a bit difficult to stay in Industrialist. What I mean by this is that once you get started, it may be slow progress, and even if it is slow progress, you may just lose momentum or the interest of playing the game, and that's perfectly fine. If you don't feel like playing the game, that's fine. It is what it is. Maybe it's not for you. But if you want to play the game and you're finding it hard for yourself to continue, I might suggest that you share your creations with others. Now you could do this in forms of joining the Discord server, the Mamytema Studios one, and sharing your creations there, or possibly joining my Discord server and doing so, joining the Reddit and doing so, maybe posting it on the Wiki, you know. Or also what I do is I will record YouTube videos as the one you're watching right now. And I think that's a great way to keep yourself occupied and to stay motivated to keep playing this game if you want to do so. Alright, next we're gonna do, next you gotta remember that you can just, some of you might be able to wing it, some of you might not be able to, a lot of us can't, and that's okay. But it may be useful for you to set a goal for yourself. Now this could be a multitude of things. Maybe it's creating the most efficient geothermal setup. Maybe, like for me, it's creating a growing community for this game. For others, it might be reaching top 1 on the leaderboard. It all really depends on what you want to do. But with a goal, it's another motivation factor. It allows you to keep on just playing, and also give you something to go forwards. And some examples were like earn maybe, let's say, $1 billion, or become proficient at a certain thing, such as geothermal, like I have. Become proficient about making geothermal setups. Or you can even just decide. Oh, there's plenty of things. There's plenty of things to do. I'll show you find one. And lastly, number 8. Number 8 is really important. Take breaks. I can't stress this enough, guys. If you play the same game over and over, you eventually will lose interest in it and then maybe forget it. That happened to me with Industrialist, but I was able to get back into it, and now here we are. But it's important for you to take a break. It could be a day, a week, a month, a year, but those breaks can really spark new interest in the game and allow you to think about things while you're away. And it's really good that you take breaks. But with that said, that's the end of this video. I hope you all found this helpful or enjoyed it. Once again, I will take any comments or questions down below. And I hope you all have an amazing day. Goodbye.